handling partners is weakness. That is what we'll be considering today. And then on today's life, like is a conversation that everybody is involved. From our angle of our community of today's life, you can just do well and then start building your own responses to what we are going to be discussing today. It's sweeter when we hear from you. So join us on Facebook and YouTube as we do this show together. I'm Sambo Solomon, and then the house is full, and today is Girl Child World Girl Child Day, and then today is supposed to be old ladies, but I'm here. But I'm proud to have Prudence, Jemima, and then Joyce Jakarta in the house. Good morning, everyone.
Morning. Thank you, Sister Samus. Oh, sorry. Brother Samus.
Just call me Salome. How are we doing?
Fine, thank you.
World Girls Child, celebrating the girl child today. How do you feel?
Well, it's interesting, and it feels more good to be a girl.
Mm.
I'll always say I'm the middle baby. Like, it feels good to be a girl.
Mm.
But it's just unfortunate that today in our society, the girl child is always at the receiving end.
Mm.
But with such a day like this, I think it is important that we reminisce on the role of the girl child.
Mm.
And particularly the role of even women. I think bulk of the responsibility lies not just with the government, not just with the society, but even with our mothers out there, in raising the girl child to be strong, to be courageous, to be optimistic, to stand for herself. Most times the low self-esteem you find out there, the lack of the ability to defend oneself, like, it starts from the home. When you are groomed or you are being brought up in a way that, you shouldn't stand, like, you shouldn't stand at the forefront, you shouldn't be able to defend you are the girl, you should be reserved, you should be out there, like, just locked up in some places. It has a way of affecting the girl child. So I think this is a call to all mothers out there, all women, and even parents generally, and the society. The girl child deserves a space. The girl child should be encouraged. The girl child should be helped. Like I said earlier on, she's almost at the receiving end. When it comes to chores, like bringing in house helps, it's always the girl child. You find a 12-year-old girl hawking, 10-year-old girl hawking. You find that it is always the girl child that is being sent to early marriages. It is the girl child that is just left to just the mercy of the society. In fact, there are parents out there that use the girl child to like bring wealth to themselves. I heard a story of a young girl that her mother introduced her to prostitution. Like, the mother has a bar, and she, when the girl comes, even as a teenager, she would tell her, go and sit with this man. And that was how she introduced the girl to that lifestyle. So the girl child is the gift, not just to the family, not just to the society, but to the world. We've seen a lot of women, girl child, growing up to become women that the world celebrates. So let's give them the chance. Let's groom them to become confident, optimistic. They can do it. So let's encourage them.
It shows a lot of significance. It means that the girl child holds a very important place. That is why she is being celebrated today. And outside today, I feel like there should be a follow-up. It doesn't just stop on the day of the girl child. When you give awareness, when you encourage, you advise, you see people that have areas that they are struggling, the girl child, you follow up to see that they don't derail and go back to where they came from.
It's actually nice to see the awareness that is going on about the girl child. Personally, I've been to a few events where the whole girl child and the generic abuse, gender abuse, and all those things were being tackled. That's what the whole program, the event, was about. And I feel positive that the girl child is really gaining relevance in the society. The girl child has grown way beyond what people used to know before. She's no longer in the background. Now she's also part of the government. She's also part of the society. She's part of the economy and a lot of things. So it's really nice to see that people are giving relevance to the
Mm.
girl child,
Mm.
that the girl child can come out and her opinions are being heard, and she's no longer a second class citizen,
Mm.
but rather a first class citizen. So the whole concept of the girl child thing, this as a day, giving a day, dedicating a day to a girl child, it's a form of an awareness, and I am positive that it's really leaving its mark.
Well, that's great. That's wonderful. If there's any time for the world to invest in girl child, is now. You know, make her feel important, educate her, give her the space to explore, and to bring out the best in her. So, for the girl child out there, we celebrate you all. In the house here we have Martha, we have Ruth, and then we have so many of them in the house, and we
When we
celebrate.
got our turn, it's so many of them. Hey. We have Joyce, we have Jemima, we have Prudence, we have Alheri, we have
Rachel,
We have Lois.
Lois,
we have
Sele.
Sele. Oh no,
We have
can go on and on.
MCR
Oh,
patience,
there-
Yeah,
Yes.
so
So,
the girl child is worth celebrating, and like
Mm.
Prudence rightly said, it is no longer business as usual.
mm,
They are taking the forefront. They are making remarkable, like they are taking that bold step, and I celebrate every girl child there. Let's show the confidence. Let's be optimistic about what a man can do, a woman can do better.
mm,
Yes, they are standing out in education, even in the entrepreneurial world. You see
Mm.
ladies doing what ordinarily people have written them off that they cannot do it.
Mm.
Politics, they are taking the forefront. We are no longer women leaders.
Mm.
We are now becoming
In the
the chairman
forefront.
of board.
mm,
So, Give us the
center of decision making.
you get. So it's
Yeah.
more like if you don't give us the
Mm.
chance, we'll take it by force. But then, well, we're taking it easy on you all.
Mm.
So just support the girl child. When you support the girl child, in turn the nation will enjoy, because at the end of the day she becomes the
Sure.
mother who will train the children, and
Mm.
they will go out there to do
Mm.
exploits. So
Mm.
every girl child deserves an opportunity.
Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up to you all there. Well, coming back to our topic today.
Today is Wednesday. We talk about relationships on Wednesday, and quite interesting how that today we're going to be looking at something that I know some people have to adjust how they are sitting. Like, how do you handle your partner's weakness? Because I've heard a lot of young ladies say, if he change it, I will change it for him. If I notice this behavior, I cannot even take this. I cannot take that. I can take anything, but this, I won't take it. And all of that. And that's just to refer to the weaknesses of their partners, be it in relationship or marriage relationship. You hear a lot of, I cannot take this, I cannot take this. And you hear people even quitting relationships, quitting marriage, because they notice something, or they anchored or banked on their partner's weakness, and so they just call it a quit, or better still, I will stay, but me too, I'll do it. So you find out that now, it's no longer the men cheating. You have women too cheating, married women too cheating, because they say, he's doing it, so I'll have to do it as well. And then in relationship before the marriage, you find out that the lady is saying, Kai, this guy is just too quiet for my liking, I cannot. And then she just call it a quit. So how do you handle your partner's weakness? There are some in their relationship, it's possible that the guy is just disorganized, but you are that lady that likes everywhere to be well organized. So how do you handle having a partner that is just disorganized? And if you are that person that you don't care if the cup should be there or be here, you are good, and the lady wants everything to be arranged, how do you cope with that? So first, there are guys that will say, Kai, I don't want a lady that is too neat. That is
It's a
too
threat
neat.
to him.
How can a
Can't
lady
meet
be
up.
disorganized? Maybe the guy is now the person that is really organized and
I
want
like
everywhere kept clean. He'll be like, I can't handle a lady that is disorganized.
Hmm.
How do we handle our partner's weakness? I think is a very vital point of discussion. So should we all quit, or we should find a way of handling that? And in handling it, is it quitting that is the way out, or I think it's let's set the ball rolling.
I feel like the first thing is that we should know that no one is perfect.
Great.
you that want to handle another person's weakness, you have weakness also.
Sure.
And somebody would want to handle your own. So, so we should know first that we have weaknesses. And in handling, we give some form of grace. Don't be too harsh. You should see it like God is also handling our weaknesses. And in handling our weaknesses, he gives us grace. And apart from grace, he gives us chances. I don't want to say second chances because some people are in like their seventh chance.
If not 100.
Some people like their 100
So
If not 100.
They will tell you that I offended you just once, and look at how you are just angry with me. Shey the Bible say we should forgive 70 times 7. I'm not even reach 10. See how?
Can
so
you
you too,
imagine?
you just see, so it not even reach 10, and you're getting angry. You're giving up.
That one is, we call that one deliberate weakness.
So really, I feel like we should give some grace in handling, and then we don't just jump into handling weaknesses of our partners. We are intentionally saying partners, not just generally. So in handling your partner's weakness, starting from the relationship, even before marriage, because you must have had some form of relationship. You didn't just wake up and found yourselves being husband and wife. So there are certain things that you must have noticed, and you should have started handling it from there before it got to marriage. Although there are people that go through relationship and they don't notice certain things until they get married, and then they now begin to see the real thing. So but then even at that, it still starts from the relationship. I think you talk about it. Before talking about it, you pray about it first, so that you know what direction to help. How do you handle, so you don't take a selfish area or a decision that is not right. So you pray about it, then you talk to the person about it. This thing I noticed, you talked about scattering of places, and you arrange someone's shoe, and then all of a sudden he's flying to another place. He eats and cannot take his or her plate to the kitchen. You have a lot of work to do, and he's not even helping out. He's compounding everything. When you notice, you don't just jump and say, yesterday he did this, day before yesterday he did this, last month he did this. You must have noticed to get your facts right. And then you talk to the person about it calmly. You don't just jump and start shouting. You talk, this is what I noticed. Can we do this like this? Or if you don't even want to give suggestion, talk first. And then let the person give you an answer, so that you know from his own point where he is coming from, why he is doing that. Probably from where he grew up, it was allowed. Maybe they had maids, they had people that worked, or his own siblings were doing all of that. So he did it. It wasn't even an issue. So he's angry at you that you are seeing it as an issue. So you talk about it, and then you have an idea where he is coming from. If you do that, you will know how to handle him better, and what to say, what not to say. If it keeps repeating itself, I think to a point you might have to ask for help. There are a lot of people that are in marriages today, and they are progressing. It doesn't mean they have not gone through handling of weaknesses and all of that. They have, but they are still doing better. You can ask, please, how do you think I can do this? How can I do that? A person that doesn't open up and talk about his area of struggle would continue to struggle. Nothing will change until you open up and you're willing to accept help. So you don't just talk to any random person that will go writing it on social media. This person is suffering, her partner is doing this and that. So you talk to people that will help you to be able to handle the weakness.
Well,
you
they don't
just
put it
do
on
everything
social media
on your own.
like that. They say hide my identity. So we always read those stories, but hide my identity.
Yes,
Identity,
yes.
Or anonymous like that. So well, we've read a lot of stories. Your name is not mentioned, so no problem.
But funny enough, the person that is in the situation should really. This person is probably aware that this is me they're
Of
talking
course.
about.
But sometimes the post
So your cousin-
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of times I think, and I'm going to be talking kind of generally today. There is always that weakness, as she said. Nobody is 100% perfect. Nobody is that ideal person that you want, and he does not have something that you don't want. No, whoever you are with, or whoever you are relating with, would certainly have something that you are not too comfortable about. So as she was saying, you need to know the person. It's essential, especially if you are a couple or you're married, things like that, it is essential that you continue to study your partner. So even when weaknesses arise, when you notice a certain form of weakness that you are not comfortable with, something that you cannot cope with, and you think that this person really needs to work on it, there is the whole thing about manner of approach. A whole lot of marriages, from what I've seen, are struggling because of manner of approach. You know that your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend is having this kind of issue, and you know that this is this person's temperament, this is how this person will react if I talk this way. But at that moment, you let yourself be fueled with your irritation or your anger towards what the person is doing, and you explode. So when you explode, you don't solve an issue. There will be no solution there, because everybody is exploding. You're exploding, he's exploding, and everywhere is just sparking. Pa, 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 pa. Nobody is doing nothing. There's no solution being brought forward. Tomorrow you would hear, no, she's visiting the pastor because her husband did this. Next tomorrow he slapped her and she's packing out of his house. Things like that would always happen if you don't have the right manner of approach to your spouse or to your partner. So it is key that you understand who your partner is and how your partner will react if you talk to the person in a certain form of way. So when you're talking to the person, you try your best to think before you act, to think before you speak. I think I like to say that the Bible is the most complete thing, the most complete book in this life.
Sure.
It actually said something of that nature. It didn't say it in the context of marriage, but it's really key because it cuts across every aspect of life. When it says, be slow to speak, quick to listen. So if it says to you be slow to speak, that means you should pay attention to the nitty-gritties. If you pay attention to that, it would help you. It would relieve you of a whole lot of stress.
Personally, I think that the whole idea around relationship is responsibility. Beyond all the mushy, the good times, hanging out, I love you, and all of that. Embedded in it is responsibility. We're all not perfect. Well, somebody out there might say, you don't know, you will not understand. You're not married. What gives you the right to, and all of that. Well,
That's true.
Because we are all humans and we live in the society. We grew up in a family setting. We have relatives that are also in, so their experiences. This discussion is not just about the married relationship generally, and this is because relationship entails two individuals coming together. Now we're talking about two individuals that grew up in different family, coming from different environments, some different tribe, different culture, and
some different countries,
and then coming together. How do you expect perfection from somebody that you were not born to get? Even the
Even
twins
if you were
that were
born
born
together.
together,
yeah,
at some point you see this person
one
displaying
behaves
this
a different
and
way.
this person displaying that character. So we must understand that relationship generally is responsibility, and it's because of the expectation that people have about it just being a love affair. So that is why when they go and see the responsibility part, they are disappointed and feel, oh, I can't take this. So if you don't make room for your partner's weakness, then it brings you're saying there's no point Jesus coming to die for you, because you're not also giving room for your own errors. Because why do we have grace? But that we have grace should sin abound? No, of course. So it means that we should work on our weaknesses so that we don't have to keep sinning because grace abound. So the same thing in your relationship. You should make room for your partner's weakness. I didn't say you should make room to take your partner's weakness. For example, well, he's a liar now, so I'm making room for him. Every day he comes, he lies. Tomorrow, he keeps lying to you, and then you are there making room, giving grace. No, that's not the point. When I talk about responsibilities, that you saying that the day I accept to go into relationship with you, the day I accept to marry you, I'm taking responsibilities to help you in your areas of weaknesses. And that's why you hear marriage counselors asking, are you both compatible? Like, because there are times that you need to compromise. Though you always like the environment or arrange or organize, and your partner can just come remove his shoes and just go into the room without even caring if one leg is at the parlor or one at the sitting room. Now you should Jemima talk about the fact that some people, because of how they were brought up, they don't do most things for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, you find out that, oh, in the house they have a help that does cooking. When they eat, they leave the plate, the help pick it and all of that. Another person did not grow up in that environment. You're told that, oh, when you eat, you should take your plate to the kitchen, wash it before you leave the kitchen, and also imagine these two people coming together. There will definitely be conflict. So that is why it's important that even at relationship level, are you both compatible? What are the things that, oh, can go for you? What are the things, are you sure you can help this person? Because it's not just about saying yes, it's from a rich home, so yes, that's the criteria. When you start seeing some of this attitude that has to do with drug addiction and all of that, can you help in that situation? If you cannot help, then there's no need going there. So sometimes you weigh, what are your areas of strength? What are the areas of the person's strength? Can his area of strength overcome your own areas of weakness? If your own area of strength can also help him in overcoming his own weaknesses, then you both are compatible. But you can't have the same strength, the same weaknesses. Then it means that when your weaknesses show up, there will be problem. Imagine a man cheating and his wife also cheating. Like, think about it. No wonder today you have the issue of distrust, that people are saying, oh, you need to go and do DNA test. Because the wife is also feeling sad that you are cheating, so she too, she has to cheat. Recently, there was a post about one of the, okay, let me just call his name Banky W, about alleged cheating, and then people were commenting. So somebody on the comment section said, I hope this is not true. Like, it shouldn't be true, that this can't be true, something like that. Okay, Banky W and his wife are one couple that a lot of people look up to. They love their love life and everything. So when the allegation came up about him having an affair with another woman, so a lot of people were just sharing the story, everybody giving his point of view. And just on the comment section, this lady said, I hope this is not true. But the point to ponder on is, what if it's true? What if it's true? Like, so you must understand that, see, nobody is perfect. It is at that point that the responsibility show up. How can you help this person? There are people that is their weaknesses that is showing up. It's not something they want to do, but they just find themselves doing it. And then there are partners that, instead of helping their partners out of that situation, they rather push them to it. You useless man, stupid man, your generation is cursed. Do you think tomorrow you want to come back? Or do you think tomorrow you want to tell you? And then there are other women that will be like, why would you do this? Remember that you vowed, you promised, you said you love me, and why would you do this to me? I watched a movie of a young man. They've been happy couple, like, since they are married, living together happily and everything. And just when he decided to take a new employee to the organization, this girl, who was also planning for her marriage, but coming to the office, she saw him and she said, our guy is fine. Oh, the guy is cute. She was sharing with her friend, and the friend said, don't go there, he's a married man. She said, who cares? And she kept throwing herself at him like he doesn't do things like cheating on his wife and all. As soon as he closes, he's going home like that, or he's with his friends. And this girl kept pushing, not until she started having an affair with him. The day the wife discovered that there are some changes, this man is not who he used to be. He comes home late, and he doesn't care to even spend the time he used to spend with her, how they talk together and all. And she was worried. She kept asking, what's wrong? This is not you. Like, this is not you. And eventually, the truth came out. And when she said, you did this, like, you have been sleeping with this, your worker, and he just knelt down. He was crying and pleading with his wife. This is not something he planned. This is not something he wanted. Like it's just something that happened. She cried alongside with him, but she understood. She gave room for his weakness. It was a weakness that showed up. Okay, this was the situation. He couldn't help himself, but he was truly repentant. Like, it's not something I deliberately did. This is a situation. And he pleaded with his wife. They reconciled. Another woman would just go straight and pack her things and leave. From
They
just the
come and see
story,
divorce papers.
from the story, it's not something he planned. Like, you need to see how that this worker of his kept pushing herself on this man. There are moments he fight her, he push her and all, but along the way, he fell for it, and that happened. She understood and she helped him out. And this is what we should do. I'm not saying you should give room for, or men should go out there cheating because your wife will understand. Your wife might not be that woman. We've had stories of women that cut the ear, cut hand, cut private part because they cannot take that. So who is the person that you're married to? Don't go and say, okay, me too, I'll go and do like this
Because
man
they said
because
so
my
in the
own
movie.
because my wife will take it or tolerate it. So we giving room or handling your partner's weaknesses basically is just to find a way of helping them. Since we are all not perfect, we all have our weaknesses. How can I be of help? If this man is not somebody that is a go-getter, or is somebody with low self-esteem, somebody that doesn't have confidence in himself, how can I help him to develop that confidence? How can I assist him in becoming who God called him to be? There are women that have pushed their husbands, that have pushed the guys they're in relationship with to where they are today. And there are women that have made theirs to be stagnant. There are also men out there that ladies, the wives they married, before they got married to them, they were blossoming, they were doing great. And immediately after she got married to you, that's the end of her story. Because you didn't take it as a responsibility to help her. Even though you know that, oh, she cannot read, you didn't even encourage her. But there are women out there that they have obtained even PhD because their husbands told you can do it. Even though you are married, you can still start, even from the primary school. Adult education and all, and today they are where they are. So we need to make room. This relationship, nobody is perfect. It's not about me, I cannot take this, me, I cannot take this. And most of the time, all these people that are saying this, they are the ones that are taking it, but they just go out there to discourage other women, especially in circles where you have women. Me, I cannot take this, I cannot. If they go home, they are dobaling, they are licking, they are boot licking their husband's feet, but they go out there to tell other people that they cannot take it. Even in relationship, single girls, you hear that her saying, oh, this guy is cheating on you and you are there taking him. Me, God forbid, no guy will do this.
But she's sharing him
You're
with five
leading
other
you
ladies.
astray.
But she's
Fabulous
sharing him
be-
with 5 other ladies.
always begging, taking it
10
easy
from
with
each
him.
local government.
How bad now?
but
Every
that's how-
365.
But okay.
but that's the truth of
Yes.
the matter. You see, the thing about relationships is that we all tend to be moved by emotions. You want everything to go the way it will suit you. So you're not out, or you're not open to the possibility of things not working out exactly the way you want it to. So you go into a marriage, you go into a relationship with that mindset. You're thinking, I know everything will work out the way I want it to. I've imagined that this is how my house is going to look. I've imagined that this is how my husband is going to be. And exactly what I'm imagining is what I am expecting someone out there to do. And when he's not giving that out, you just begin to think, no, it does not work anymore. But you see, you need to work on it and continue working on it. I heard someone saying this in one of the one program I went to one time, and she said that before she got married, she was sure of one thing, that she wanted her marriage to work. That's the only thing she was sure of. She was not exactly picturing my house is going to be a 4-bedroom flat with 5 children. No, she was more concerned about my marriage has to work, even with the rate of divorce that is going on. And so first of all, as a Christian, she went to God in prayers, but that 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 down, because that's something that you constantly should do. It's an institution that he made for himself for his pleasure, so he knows exactly what you need. And if you table it before him, it's easier for you to be able to understand certain scenarios that happen during your marriage. But what she kept on doing was that during the relationship, they had all the right conversations.
Mm.
You have the right conversations. Know how to pick out, be observant. You can't just let yourself be carried away by mushy feelings. Omo, but it's hard. And I'm saying Omo today. It's really hard because the mushy feelings can be overwhelming.
And then I feel it takes a lot of sacrifice and effort in handling partner's weakness. You have to be willing to sacrifice. You are going out of your comfort zone for your partner. So you're sacrificing and you're putting a lot of effort in helping. That is if the partner is willing. Because if he's not willing, you can take 10 years doing the same thing and it's like you're pouring water on a rock. Nothing changes. So it takes a lot of sacrifice, effort, and then the willingness to work together. I see it as two sides of the same coin. One side of the coin is all about the perfect things you love about the partner, the things he's doing right, all of those things that make you so excited. And then the other side are those weaknesses, those places that need help. You love the sides that are good. You have to also love the weakness so that you both can work together to see that you help. You can't like one side and leave. It's your coin. You have to take it like that, or you throw the coin. It goes together. You can't remove that bad one and throw. So you have to be willing to sacrifice, put effort, and then work together. The example that came to my mind is, imagine you have a partner and she is your wife. She is so good with the house. She takes care of the children. She does everything well, but she doesn't keep to time. She is a very good late comer. There's nothing you will do.
You always go to church late.
Yes, if you like, wake her up 4 a.m. for church that is 9 a.m. You people will still go late. She will do everything well, but it's something you have to deal with. You have to help. You know, there are ways that you have to be willing to really help this partner. Like, okay, both of you can wake up together, help with some of the things that really, and make sure that those things that take so long, let her start doing it early. See, even if she does
even
it,
if it's possible for you to do it.
yes,
Do
you
it.
just
The
help,
narrative a lot
and
of
then
men
make
have
sure
out there.
that you are leaving. Because what if you miss an important thing like a flight because she's late? You miss something that would cost you a lot. You have to be
cost the
willing
family,
to help, and in helping, that is where patience come in. And the patience is the effort I was talking about. You have to be very patient. You can't expect that within 1 month there's one form of transformation that will happen and then everything turns. It's just like a child. You give birth to a child every day. You are bathing the child, you're feeding, you're changing clothes, every day. After 3 months, will you stop? No. After 6 months, will you stop? No. After 1 year, will you stop? No. What made you not to stop? You're hopeful that this child will eventually grow and
the point
these
that
things
he
will
can
stop. And it happens like that because the child grows. He crawls, he walks, he calls you mommy, he runs and does a lot of things. It's the same thing for handling of weaknesses. You have to be extremely patient, even though you're putting in effort. Yes, God is seeing the effort, your partner is seeing the effort, but you have to be patient.
In fact,
and
a
it would
story
work.
was told of a young man that they are married with 3 children. So it was Sunday and they were praying for church. So the wife was not ready and they were already running late. So it's something that happened more than once. They are always running late. There are women that even if they wake up 12 a.m. they will still go late
For church,
and
that is 10.
it's a concern for most men. Like,
What are you doing?
Mama could not tell juye. Or they tell you, this woman, I don't even know what she's doing. Like, and you go to church angry. So this man on that particular day, he just drove out with the children, and unknown to him, her bag was already in the car. So while she was dressing, because he was already out of patience, he just drove to church. When she finished, she came out and the car, they were not there, and her purse her bag was so she can't even go to the church because she was not having transport. She was even hoping she would just take the public transport, and then so she got so angry. Like when he returned from the church, it was an issue for them. It was a serious fight for them. So you see where the patients come in. How can you help this partner that consistently doesn't know how to manage time? It's either the children are running late for school or you're running late for work. What are the things? Help her to draft, like have her to-do list if she must have it. What are the things that you need to do tomorrow? There are parents that it said the school, the uniform, all they need to prepare the food. They make sure that everything is in place. So once they wake up, all they need to do is just microwave, warm the food for the children, just bath them while the husband is helping, maybe bathing the children. The woman is dressed, or the woman bathing the dad, helping in dressing, and they just work together to ensure that. So if she has weakness of keeping to time, how can you help her? You that have strength in that area, because you have strength, you can keep to time. You know, funny thing about some men, what they do, they just wake up, they just shower, and they just dress, they are ready, and they are angry with the wife that she's always late. What's she doing? She wakes up, you don't help her to dress the children, you don't help her in cooking, you don't help her in packing the children, you don't help her in the chores. She has to do the chores, she has to dress the children, she has to cook breakfast and even lunch that they'll come back to eat. And then you're still on bed, you just wake up, take your bath as the African man that you are. You just take your bath, and then you are now angry and shouting that people are late. That's a bit insensitive.
You have to know that it's a teamwork.
Truly, today is a World Girls' Day. I agree, and that is why I just opened the show like that, so that I will be safe today, and then
Okay, let's hear Sister Solomon. Oh, sorry, brother Samuel Solomon.
Wonderful contribution, and I think this topic is timely. It is very important to know that nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. And then from the constituency where we are coming, Bible is our standard. And then Bible made it clear that nobody is perfect. Our perfection comes through Christ. And that means for you to be perfect in your Christian race, that means you truly believe Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior. Because number one, if you believe him, that means you have agreed that you have something that he came to complete. Because his basic assignment is to just come and make that your weakness perfect in him. And you agree. So if two Christians are coming together, that means from the beginning all of you are not perfect. And definitely you have to agree again that two of you are Christians made perfect through Christ. So that means in relationship or in marriage, because relationship leads to marriage, because we always prepare the marriage through relationship, right? So you look at it this way: if we all agree that we are made perfect through Christ, that means we have something in common that is bringing us together. So by the virtue of that means there must be understanding. It's not optional. That means if you are truly a believer, there must be that understanding, and the love will be genuine. And that is the reason why anywhere you find genuine love, you don't find weakness. Anywhere you find genuine love in Christ, you don't see weakness.
I think I want to understand, because
it's I think what he's saying is that, that passage where it says love covers a multitude of wrongs. It means that yes, the weakness might just be there, but there's just a way that you always approach it and tackle it and get ahead of it.
Okay, but not that there's absence.
It's not like it's
that's why I lay that
absence.
foundation. I say if truly you are a believer, that means Christ, you are being perfect through Christ. And you can only find true and genuine love through Christ. And if there's this genuine love that is coming between the two of us, that means the weakness will die, because the love covers the multitude of those weakness that you can find around. And that is why you see the issue of understanding that I talked about. And then from the understanding, that's when you will see genuine communication. How about, sweetheart? Why now?
And you will know how to talk to the person.
Haba. So just understand. That's not how it should be. But you know I love you, right? You know, right? I feel
I'm answering in the place of your wife.
you see, if we go this way, remember these children are watching, and you remember that we are to raise godly children.
True.
And that's our assignment. So we can't go this way. I think we should adjust, because I noticed something. You talk about us being observant, and everyone on earth has temperament. If you're observant and you are careful, you will know what temperament your wife or your husband belong, and that balance the way you talk, even when you are angry. Because there are some people that when they are angry because they just saw something went wrong in the family or in the relationship, there's a way they respond. To some, they will just be mute. They will not talk, because when they open their mouth at that moment, they talk. They know.
Venom.
They know.
Poison.
You see, but they know that the relationship would be threatened. They know. And because already they are slow to speak, right? Already they have imagined the danger after saying whatever they were thinking. They want to say, so they will cool down. And most times you will hear the other side say, I've been talking to you about this and you are quiet. You are ignoring me. Sweetheart, it's because of the love. That is why I'm ignoring you. If I'm to respond,
Mommy,
at the end of it, you will be the one begging me.
It can be the same love that is making her shout, because if she keep quiet, she will burn.
that is creating the balance that we are talking about.
Yes,
That's the understanding. It's because you know she will talk that way, and you understand. You say, okay, let my own just go down.
You see, the thing is,
And-
don't
and-
respond in anger. Don't respond with the same anger. If she's spitting out venom, don't respond with venom. If he's spitting out venom, don't respond with venom. That's why they said, give good for evil, or like there are a lot of things as I said earlier on, the Bible is really complete.
It's complete.
It's really complete, and it says that if you're getting evil from someone, give it good. So if you're getting aggressiveness from someone, be gentle, be that calm person.
That's the only way you will see that, because you will find that in the complete Bible, where somebody is killing you, somebody is persecuting you, somebody is making you very, very uncomfortable. I mean very, very, very uncomfortable. And the Bible is saying pray for the person. And you talk the place of prayer, you can't take it out. Because by praying for that person constantly, it will help you love the person more. Because you will see less need of you complaining about that person, because you already know and you have settled with it that is a challenge that you need to pray, and that you need a grace of God to go about it. But you see, you can't take understanding out of it and willingness of the person. Number one, you have to understand that you have that weakness or those weaknesses. You have to agree that yes, you. And secondly, you have to open up and say, I need a help. And that's the only way, somebody can help you. And you see, the reason why sometimes you will find out that it gets to like marriage without handling some certain issues is because we normally, some of us come with pretense. Like the real thing, the real weakness, you hide them. Like judiciously, you hide them. So that is when you get to the house, then you display. It can be the man or the woman. And then, yes, she has been tolerating the small ones that you let them out. That she's feeling, no, this one I can handle, this one I can handle. And then, bam, you are entering and you just notice that everything about him was just lie. Everything about him. And that's not the life you want to, you want to settle with, and it becomes an issue. And the man is putting that African jacket, that African man jacket, and saying, I'm an African man, you have to respect me, you have to sit down. If I shout, you have to calm down, sit down and listen and do what and then the woman is frustrated. The best out of her is not coming because that is not what she planned. And you check relationship, what is all about? It's about growth. To grow the kingdom, to grow yourself, to perfection, to increase, the kingdom of God. So you look at it, if you find those deception from the beginning, it becomes difficult. So you find that even in marriage, the partner will be struggling, will be seriously struggling, because number one, he didn't know to even agree in the first place that yes, that's a weakness that I think I can help and we will grow together. Because
deal with, so that I will not marry him in the first place.
You understand? So you start praying. Every time you are praying, one eye is open, the other one is closed, because you are even praying with double mind, because even the person is not ready. Yes, the Bible say, pray without ceasing. But at some point, the flesh is weak. And you see the issue of patience that you talked about. Like, how long? This is another question. I can be patient with you, but for how long?
The one I'm
actually
the one the one I'm actually disturbed about is, what if something is really eating up your partner and he or she is not talking and you are being insensitive and not observing it?
You see,
that's another one that is really detrimental.
Pastor Sambo Solomon raised very, very important for this show. Now he has honorary pastoral degree because he brought angles. The Bible said awesome, but you see, humanity in relationship, it will always show. But I'm happy that you gave all the angle you did. If you genuinely love someone, you will give room for their weaknesses.
Sure.
Because from your relationship, you must have understand that, this person is struggling with this, is struggling with that. But because I have strength in that area, I could help that person. But you see, it is the absence of that understanding that you can look at your wife and say, when we go out, don't speak before you go and disgrace me. There are men that go out to their wives and they are not even proud that she's behind, they are in front.
But do you know that
there are men that will say, I'm here with my wife, can you stand up, come to the front, and they just say one or two things, and the wife will happily, that's my wife coming, blah blah. They're so proud. And then there are men that are like, I came with my wife, she's sitting right behind, just wave them, and then it ends it. Even though it might not be issue of you being proud or not being proud of your wife, but different personality. So like I was saying, humanity will always show.
Sure.
And the humanity showing in your weaknesses does not mean you don't believe in God or you don't trust God. See, we are all wired differently. The woman is expressive, she's very emotional. The man is logical. If you have that understanding, when he's quiet and you want to talk, you find a way of making him see reasons why you need to talk. Some of us just feel like, I can't take this and that should just end it. How long could you be looking for what you want to take? You will not find it. Because all the image you have in your head are just imagination. You have to find a way of helping your partner become who you want him or her to be.
If the partner is willing.
If the partner is willing. That's why I said it starts from the relationship. What's your standing? Who are you? You can't just go out there and just pick anybody to become your husband or your wife, or just go into relationship with anybody. That's why you keep struggling every day. You can't take this, I cannot take it. People will split, you come back. There are people that have ended their relationship. Someone said you are just in a relationship but you have divorced 5 times or 10 times. You are together, tomorrow you are not. Why? Because of all those weaknesses showing up and somebody saying I cannot take it. So in the first place, why are you going to relationship with that person? What is your stand in terms of your belief, your ideologies, what you hold on to? I'm a Christian, I'm going for somebody that don't believe in God. How do I expect that we'll live in peace? But it makes it easy when we are holding on to one source. We are being guided by one source. it becomes easy. I don't need to tell him, do you know that the Bible say you should love me as your wife? He already knows that. And then in loving me, you give room for my excesses. I do not say you have to, like, every time I should be doing the same thing, but love, in loving your wife, some of these weaknesses, like you rightly say, will even naturally disappear. I know a lot of women that their husband have helped them to become who they are. And I know some women also that say today they are stagnated and they are regretting their marriage because they feel they made the wrong choice, but they are right there in the marriage. Because since when they entered that marriage, it's more like their life just came to like a standstill. They are not moving forward, they are not backward, they are just in one place. All the promises have vanished and all. So don't have that expectation, high expectation that everything is just, the journey is just going to be smooth. There are no challenges and nothing, and that's why a lot of people just become discouraged and just I want to end this marriage, because they came with expectation that the journey is just going to be smooth. And even their partners, they will promise them that, see, I will take care of you, I will make sure you are happy, I will do this, I've done that, and they come with that expectation. And then when reality dawn on them and no, this is not what I signed in for, then you see fights start coming in. You see sorrow. There are people that are married but separated. People are not talking to themselves. Everybody's just living his life. And I cannot tell you, do you know what this person did to me? I will never, you have married somebody, but I will never forgive you for the rest of my life. And you keep hearing all these kind of things. But that's not the idea of marriage. That's not God's intention. The intention is for you to live happy and to mirror God's image. Somebody should see you and want to know what's the secret. Let your home be able to harbor people. Let's bring people to the limelight. To let them see that, Kai, there's secret behind this home. What is it? And they find out that it's God, and they also want to come to him. So how do you do it? What's the foundation of your relationship right now? Start asking yourself if you're not married. But if you're already married, what foundation did you build that relationship? No wonder the back and forth you are having, like in terms of challenges and then the issues that, like you rightly say, there are people that will say, me, if I show him this part of me, he will not marry me. Let me hide it. When I get married, I will show him Pepe. And they pretend. But like Prudence said, relationship is not just about you hearing what this person has to say for me to validate if I should marry him or marry her. Check their action. Check what stands out for them. What do they love? What do they prioritize? Check their action, the things they don't say. Beyond the things they are saying, if you check their action, it will validate whether it is true or they are lying. Today we have a lot of people pretending they can go as long as being a church worker just so that they will attract a church girl that will marry them. But you see, hidden under it is the bad character that they are going to be hiding, because eventually it will come out. So you need to also be observant. It's not just about close your eyes, let's pray. Sometimes you should open the eyes so that you'll be able to see.
In this case, that someone has to go to choir and do all sort of rehearsals and special number and the rest just to marry a lady, and they have a relationship of three years of investment, and he's just lying, he just want to marry her, and then after marriage, maybe the choir were the people that sang throughout the reception and everything, and then after everything, then she found out that this is who the guy is. How do you think she will take that? In managing that weakness that she knew in him, how do you think?
It's a cross that you will have to carry for
The whole
neglecting,
relationship and marriage
for not
is
being
built on
observant.
falsehood.
You see,
for not being
no,
observant. It's a
so-
cross that
so-
you have to carry. See, you have to take that responsibility of being an intercessor. Yes, and that's why I'm talking about this,
Some
because I know there are a
people-
lot of people out
Some
there that
people
will
are
tell you
Joyce,
that the guys
some people
just
are
know them
so
to marry.
good you won't see it.
I'm telling you.
I
I'm
agree.
telling you.
Some
I
people
know someone that currently she's married, and that was the case. The guy pretended, he even joined the group that she was in the church, and she got married to him, and eventually his true color showed. What I'm trying to say is that if you are truly holding on to God, you are discerning. It's not just with your physical eye that you're just observing it. If you are true, see, I used to tell people that I've not seen somebody that believe in God and hold on to God, that God fail. Challenges will come. It's not like it will not come, but God will always show through for you. He will not let you just be consumed.
Sometimes
Like,
he
is it
would let
God's
you.
intention for me to end up with somebody that will make me not to be happy for the rest of my
Remember,
Sometimes
there
he
is a
would let
permissive
you,
will of God.
but for a reason.
That
He
Mm.
would do all of that. He opens your eye and all whatnot, but you still enter the marriage like that. He is leaving you there for a reason. So while you are there, it's not about you carrying the cross for not being observant, but it is you being on your knee. Now that I am here, though I didn't want to be here, what can I do? So that those that are already there will not feel guilty that they are already there. They have to carry the
That's
cross.
the point.
So they
That's the
get some
point.
form of hope that they
So
can
you-
still live in
So
that
you don't-
marriage.
So you don't be suffocated.
Mm.
Just continue to remember, okay, so I was worshiping him before this time, and
Mm.
I still trust him.
Mm.
So what exactly does he want me to learn from this situation?
Mm.
Excuse me, Joseph had to go through a lot.
Mm.
Joseph was thrown into prison for no reason.
Mm.
That's probably your test.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
That's probably your test. So as much as it's not a joyful thing, it's not
Yes,
something that
it's
everyone
sad,
would
yeah.
anticipate,
Mm.
but you just know that sometimes it's just a test of time. Over time, just continue to hope and continue to trust in God. That's all.
And
That's
you might
all.
be
What
the reason
annoys
why
you?
the man will
What
eventually
annoys
become
me?
good.
Mm. The most.
Phrase the question well so that I understand what I'm answering. What annoys me the most about the
What we are discussing.
handling the weakness of it is the fact that you're trying to, as much as you're trying to handle the weakness of your partner, you're not remembering that you also have your own weaknesses. So he's probably trying to handle it as well, and you're not being considerate about that.
Let the person be willing to be helped, and if it's not, you can always go back to God, and together you would do better.
Well, what annoys me about weaknesses generally is when people, you see it, but you want to go into it because it's the in thing, everybody's getting married, and you just jump into it, and tomorrow you are there lamenting about. So while you have the time, for people that are yet to be married, ask God to help you.
Well, on this note, I will just say thank you for doing this session with me, and I learned a lot from all your contribution. Thank you so much. And for the viewer out there, we sincerely appreciate you for keeping your time with us. We pray that you allow us to do same together tomorrow, and that is the much we can take. Remain blessed and be good to one another. Bye bye from all of us.